Have you ever experienced a situation whereby you typed an email and you're just waiting to send it, but before then you're rereading it. You put in ChatGPT to reward for you so that it can sound a certain way. You're just trying to ensure that everything is 100% perfect, and then you realize that it's taking you hours before you can send that email, or maybe you have a task to get done, but because you just want it to be right on point, you're planning, you're getting done, trying to tweak it there, and at the end of the day, you don't get anything done, or you spend hours before you're able to finish that task. Welcome to the world of a perfectionist, someone who wants to get everything done 100%. Tick all the boxes, make sure all the T's are crossed, the I's are dotted properly before you leave that task or leave whatever it is that needs to be done. That is who a perfectionist is, always wanting to get everything. And it took a while before I realized that I struggled with making mistakes. Like, it was a problem for me to make mistakes, and that's because I saw it as a reflection of myself. Each time I made mistakes, I would take it personally and see it as a reflection of myself, instead of just I just made a mistake instead of that. So and I know that I'm not alone in this kind of situation. You don't want to make mistakes. You want to ensure that things are done properly, things are done properly, and you realize that it's taking you ages to get things done. It's a lot of pressure. It's very draining. It can get frustrating at some point. And beneath this perfectionist facade is fear of different things that I'm going to be talking about in this video. At the end of this video, I want you to be able to recognize the perfectionist in you. I also want you to be able to know what to do when it rears its head up on the inside of you. So stay with me till the end. Hello there, my name is Tolu Akinyemi. Welcome to my YouTube channel. It's a privilege to be in your space. I share different things that could affect women, that can help them to rise above limiting beliefs, start believing in themselves, and do things that God has called them to do. So it's a privilege to be in your space. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you for stopping by. If you're new here, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button. So I'm going to dive into the world of a perfectionist. At some point in my life, I lived with some people, and each time I'll try to observe how they do things so that I can do it exactly the same way. To avoid issues, no problems. I wanted to be the perfect guest, and you know what? It's taking me a while to come to terms with the fact that I would never be the perfect wife, never be the perfect mom, never be the perfect guest, never be the 100% perfect employee or anything like that. However, I'm making a conscious decision to do things with the purest of intentions and learn as I go along on this journey. And that's what I'm inviting you to do as well. So if you see that you struggle with getting things done, you want it to be perfect all the time, believe me when I say, take it from me, it's a lot of pressure you put on yourself. And that mindset of being perfect, it's an illusion, because you will never be perfect. That mindset in itself says that you are a finished woman, a finished person. There's no need for any form of improvement. You know how to get things done. That's the mindset a perfectionist has, because everything just has to be perfect. There's no room for improvement. And the truth is, in a constantly changing world, everything is changing. How you raise your children is changing. Before, if you want to scold your children, you just scold them right away. You want to put them in their face, you want to ensure. And now you start thinking twice. What I just did now, have I passed on any form of trauma to this child? You are calculating. You're just trying to ensure that this child, you don't just want them to be traumatized in any way, because as adults we know that anytime we're talking about trauma, it stems from childhood, and now as a parent you start thinking twice, because you don't want to pass on anything that is not right that would affect them. You just things are changing. How we parents change is changing. How we do things is changing. Social media keeps changing. how work is being done is changing, everything is changing. So having that mindset that everything has to be perfect is a very, very long thing. You'll be on a very long thing. It's not right. It's a lot of pressure because you put yourself to very, very high standard that you wouldn't even hold somebody else to. You hold yourself to, and you realize that you're so harsh on yourself. It will take you ages. At a point I just realized that simple things I need to get done. It takes me hours. Why? Because I want it to be perfect. Beneath that, when I started getting curious with myself, asking myself questions, beneath it, there were lots of fears, and I will dive into some of them. One, fear of failure. I mentioned earlier that if I made a mistake, I'll see that as a reflection of myself. Now imagine if I fail at something, it will be like failure is failure. But that is not true. That is not true. You might be there listening to me. Maybe you're also afraid of failing. You're afraid of how it will be seen. You can't just believe that I failed. I failed at something. Who are you? You're just a human being. A human being like all the other people that you won't hold to such high standards. A human being that can make mistakes as well. So sometimes you're so afraid of failure. Sometimes you're afraid of judgment. You don't want people to judge and criticize. You're afraid of that, what they will say. You're afraid of rejection. You don't want people to criticize you for what it is you've done, or you want to be perceived in a certain way, and you're afraid of people seeing you. That's another one. Fear of being seen. Fear of being seen is like you're afraid of being vulnerable, being exactly who you are. You're afraid of people seeing you for exactly who you are. And sometimes it's just like having imposter syndrome that you keep feeling inadequate. You're just afraid that people will catch you, or maybe they will find you out, and all of those things. If we remove all the layers and we see you for who you really are, you're a human being, worthy of love, worthy of affection, loved, but a lot of times we're just afraid to be vulnerable to people. And the truth is, if you're not open, if people just have this perception of you're just perfect up there, it creates that invisible wall between you and them. There'll be no connection, even when you want connection. But because this whole perfection is very intimidating, it's too much of pressure, and honestly, I've resigned from it. I don't want to put myself under that kind of immense pressure anymore. It's too much. It's draining, it's frustrating, it's exhausting. You don't want people to see you for who you really are. The fear of being seen, fear of being vulnerable. And the truth is, you're a human being. You can make mistakes just like anybody else, and it's not a reflection of who you truly are. The fact that you made mistake at this thing does not mean you make mistake at something else. So it's not a true reflection of who you are. So I hope that as you're listening, you're able to maybe remember some things you're trying to do perfectly. You want to be the perfect wife, you want to be the perfect daughter, you want to be the perfect employee, and you realize that you start bringing work from bringing work home because you're not able to finish it. You want to dot everything. These things, the examples, they are things I've done myself. Because you want everything to be perfect, you bring work back home instead of just finishing and getting things done. So if you see that you're someone who is like this, I want you to start getting curious about yourself. Sit down with yourself. When this thing comes up, when it's like you want to get this thing done perfectly, ask yourself, why? At the root of it, why? What am I afraid of? Ask yourself these questions. What am I afraid of, really? Because the more you dig into it, the more you're able to overcome it. If you dig into it and you embrace this fear, it's okay. I'm afraid of being seen. Well, I'm just a human being, normal like all these other people that I try to accept and love. So, why not? Why should I be afraid? So please, one of the things I would encourage you to do is to be kinder towards yourself. Be kinder towards yourself. You'll be kind towards other people, but yourself, be kind towards yourself instead of beating up yourself, beating up yourself over and over because you made a simple mistake or because this thing is not as perfect as you want it to be. Be kinder with yourself. Sit with yourself. Be curious. Ask yourself questions. Why do I want this thing to be 100% perfect? And be kind towards yourself. And when this thing rears up, take manageable risks. Do them. Do those things anyway. Get it done anyway. Choose getting things done over getting things perfect. Instead of making it perfect, just get it done. Do the job. Do it. You want to do this task and you are over processing it. Fine, do it anyway. Do it. Make the mistakes early. If you're not making mistakes, it means you're not doing anything. But if you're doing something and you're making mistakes, honestly, the truth is, from your mistakes, you learn how to get things done better. You even become someone who can teach other people how not to do that thing, so they don't fail at it. So it leaves you with much more experience. It makes you a better person. But if you want to hold on to just being perfect, you're saying you are a finished person, there's no need for adjustment. The truth is, life will pass you by. You will be stuck, life will pass you by. At the end of the day, it looks like you are procrastinating, you want to get things done. But at the root of that procrastination, there is something. What are you afraid of? Ask yourself. Start embracing your fears. Take manageable risks. Be kinder to yourself. I hope that from this video you've picked one or two things that can help you on your journey in life. I just hope it helps you. And if you know someone who needs to hear this, please feel free to forward the video to them. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Thank you again for staying till the end. Till I see you next time. Bye for now. And really, at the end of this video, I know that I'll still come back because I'll still remember something that maybe I should have said or I didn't say. And maybe, but the truth is, I'm not going to come back to add it to this video. If there's any other thing, it can be said in another one. That's just to say that there will always be something to improve on. I hope that this helps you. Bye.